A three-story section of a residential building was destroyed after a Russian strike hit the property. Residents of Kyiv's Shesquik district took cover in a corridor that saved their lives during the Russian strike in their area. According to authorities, the Russian missiles struck a children's hospital in Kyiv and killed at least 3 people elsewhere in the Ukrainian capital. It was the biggest bombardment of Kyiv in several months. The daytime Russian barrage targeted 5 Ukrainian cities with more than 40 missiles of different types, hitting apartment buildings and public infrastructure. Western leaders who have backed the Ukraine in the war are holding a 3-day NATO summit in Washington. The Ukrainian Air Force stated that the daylight attacks included Kinzhal hypersonic missiles, one of the most advanced Russian weapons. The Kinzhal flies at 10 times the speed of sound, making it hard to intercept. The Russian Ministry of Defense said in its daily report that the Russian armed forces have seized control of a settlement in the direction of Donetsk in eastern Ukraine. Ukrainian hurdler Anna ran on Ukraine's bronze medal, winning 400 meters relay team in the London Olympics in 2012 and placed 5th in her specialty in Tokyo. The 400 meters hurdles, any medal she earns this summer will be for her country in a very real sense. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said he will be calling for a UN Security Council emergency meeting after a Russian strike on Kyiv Children's Hospital. A major Russian missile attack across Ukraine on Monday killed at least 31 people and injured 154. The Palestinian official news agency WAFA said that the AI Al-Jani school was bombed for the 3rd time since the onset of the current Palestinian-Israeli conflict. The Israeli military said it was looking into the report about the incident. Israeli airstrikes in southern Lebanon killed livestock on farmland, leaving the ground covered with the bodies of dead animals. Lebanon's state-run national news agency reported 3 Israeli strikes over Jabal Torah in southeastern destroyed the house of a shepherd and a livestock pen. The U.S. State Department called the Iranian election not free or fair and noted that a significant number of Iranians chose not to participate at all. Palestinian health authorities say that the death toll in Gaza Strip has risen to over 30,000 and more than 80,000 people have been injured since last October. The authorities claim that in the last 24 hours, the Israeli army have killed 55 people and injured 123. The Israeli Defense Forces bombed a school building in western Gaza City as Israeli intelligence agency claimed that Hamas used it as a hideout and operational base. Egypt's foreign minister says that there is no alternative to United Nations relief and works agencies. Egypt supports the agency in spite of strong criticism from Israel and its allies. He called for a roadmap to end Israel-Palestine conflict. United States warplanes airdrop aids over the central Gaza city, Khan Yunis. AP's camera person documents people clambering for food. United Arab Emirates funds a water distribution truck and refugees gathered around it with their bottles. Israel continues its hostility in Palestine. Scores of Palestinians migrate to a new city after Israel issue a new evacuation order. Residents were seen leaving the city with their belongings. Israel's constant bombing has destroyed Palestine's main territories. Israel's military releases new footage. It shows forces operating inside the Gaza Strip as residents flee their homes amid intense conflict between Israeli troops and Palestinians. The new exodus occurred in the north of the Gaza Strip. Thousands of protesters held rallies in Tel Aviv demanding Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu for a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. Protesters blocked the highway, calling on Netanyahu to step down as the Prime Minister of Israel. Hundreds of protesters with drums and banners gathered in Jerusalem near Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's residence, demanding a deal to release hostages held in Gaza and called for elections. Pro-Palestinian protesters gathered outside Stormont in Belfast as UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer arrives for talks. The protests came days after Starmer's Labour Party won a landslide election victory. Chinese President Xi Jinping meets Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban in Beijing. The meeting calls for the continuation of China and Hungary's partnership. Xi Jinping says that the two countries should maintain high-level exchanges. They should deepen political mutual trust, strengthen strategic communication and coordination. He adds that the two countries should promote high-quality Belt and Road cooperation and continue to enrich the bilateral relations that will benefit the people. Ahead of NATO summit, U.S. State Secretary Lloyd Austin welcomes NATO's Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg to Pentagon. This week, NATO leaders will meet to observe 75th anniversary of its military alliance. NATO is facing internal and external threats, including Russia-Ukraine war, Israel-Hamas conflict, and uncertainty regarding the future of Joe Biden in upcoming U.S. elections.